Welcome to Just Discovered, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating world of history, archaeology, and all the amazing things we keep unearthing. I'm May, your resident history enthusiast.
And I'm Chris, your friendly neighborhood learner, ready to explore the past with you all.
Before we dive in, a huge thank you to all our listeners. If you're enjoying the show, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you're watching on YouTube, give us a like. It really helps us reach more curious minds.
Definitely. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, leave a comment below. We love hearing from you.
And a special thanks to Fox News for providing the source material for today's discussion. We appreciate their reporting. So Chris, today we're going to be talking about a really exciting discovery made at the ancient city of Troy.
Troy? Like the Trojan War, Troy? I remember that from somewhere. Brad Pitt was involved, right?
That's the one. Although we should probably clarify that the movie Troy took some, shall we say, creative liberties with the actual history. But yes, this is the same Troy, the city made famous by Homer's Iliad and Odyssey.
Wow, that's incredible. So what's been discovered now? I thought they found Troy a long time ago.
They did. A German archaeologist named Heinrich Schliemann unearthed the remains of Troy back in 1870. But archaeology is an ongoing process. We're constantly learning more as we dig deeper, both literally and figuratively. This recent discovery involves some truly remarkable artifacts.
Okay, I'm hooked. Tell me everything.
Well, Turkish officials recently announced the unearthing of a stunning gold brooch and a rare jade stone at the Troy archaeological site, which is in northwestern Turkey.
A gold brooch and a jade stone? That sounds fancy.
It is. These artifacts were found in what's known as the Troy II settlement layer. This layer dates back to around 2500 BC.
2500 BC? That's incredibly old. So these objects are about 4,500 years old?
Exactly. And that's what makes this find so significant.
So tell me more about the brooch. What does it look like?
Unfortunately, the article doesn't go into a lot of detail about its appearance, but it does emphasize that it's incredibly well preserved. Mehmet Nuri Ashoy, the Turkish Minister of Culture and Tourism, even called it the best preserved of only 3 known examples in the world. He said it's one of the most significant finds of the last 100 years.
Wow, that's high praise. What makes it so important? Is it just the age?
The age is definitely a factor, but it's also about what these objects can tell us about the people who lived in Troy at that time. The fact that the brooch is so well preserved is a huge bonus because it allows researchers to study it in detail and learn about the craftsmanship and materials used.
Makes sense. And what about the jade stone?
The jade stone is also fascinating because it wasn't native to Anatolia, which is the region where Troy is located. This suggests that it was brought there through long-distance trade.
So even back then, they were trading luxury goods across long distances.
Absolutely. This discovery provides evidence of complex trade networks and cultural exchange in the early Mediterranean world. It shows that Troy wasn't just some isolated city. It was connected to other regions and civilizations.
That's amazing. It's like finding a piece of a puzzle that helps you understand the bigger picture.
Exactly. And that's what makes archaeology so exciting. Each new discovery helps us piece together the story of the past.
So what does this discovery tell us about the people who lived in Troy II? What were their lives like?
Well, Troy II was a very early settlement. Finding these artifacts suggests that even at this early stage, Troy was a prosperous and sophisticated city. The presence of luxury items like the gold brooch and jade stone indicates that there was a wealthy elite who could afford to acquire these goods.
So they were like the 1% of their time.
You could say that. These artifacts also tell us something about their values and beliefs. Jade, for example, was often associated with power and status in ancient cultures.
It's interesting how objects can tell us so much about people's lives, even thousands of years later.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the objects themselves, but also the context in which they were found. The fact that these artifacts were found in the Troy II settlement layer is crucial because it helps us date them and understand their place in the history of the city.
Speaking of the Troy II layer, the article mentions that this discovery sheds light on the beginning of that period. Can you explain that?
Sure. There's been some debate among historians and archaeologists about exactly when the Troy II period began. The traditional dating is somewhere between 2550 and 2500 BC. This discovery may provide new evidence that helps to refine that timeline. By studying the artifacts and the layers of soil in which they were found, researchers can get a better understanding of the chronology of Troy.
So it's like using these objects as markers to help pinpoint when things happened.
Precisely. It's like reading the rings of a tree to determine its age. Each layer of soil and each artifact found within that layer tells a story about the past.
This is all so fascinating, May. It really brings history to life.
I'm glad you think so, Chris. And there's still so much more to discover about Troy. Excavations are ongoing, and who knows what other amazing finds are waiting to be unearthed.
I can't wait to hear about them. So where will these artifacts be displayed?
The article mentions that all the artifacts are planned to be shown at the Troy Museum in Çanakkale, Turkey.
I've never heard of it, but I bet it's awesome.
It sounds like it. And of course, Troy itself is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Oh, I know about UNESCO. They're like the world's historical landmark protectors, right?
You got it. UNESCO recognizes Troy as one of the most famous archaeological sites in the world, rich in cultural heritage and myth. They say that its extensive remains are the most significant and substantial evidence of the first contact between the civilizations of Anatolia and the burgeoning Mediterranean world.
That's a pretty big deal. So if people are ever in Turkey, they should definitely check it out.
Absolutely. It's a chance to walk in the footsteps of heroes and explore a city that has captured the imagination of people for thousands of years.
Okay, May, I have a question for you. If you could travel back in time and witness one event in the history of Troy, what would it be?
That's a tough one. There are so many possibilities. But if I had to choose, I think I'd want to witness the actual construction of the city during the Troy II period. To see the people building the walls, creating the pottery, and trading with other cultures would be an incredible experience. It would give me a real sense of what life was like in Troy at that time. It would also be interesting to see how close reality matched up to the legends of the city.
That's a great answer. I think I'd want to see the Trojan horse just to see if it was as big and impressive as they say in the stories.
Well, that would certainly be a sight to behold. But remember, Chris, the Trojan horse is likely more of a legend than a historical fact.
Yeah, I know, but it's still fun to imagine.
Absolutely. And that's what makes history so engaging. It's a blend of fact and fiction, legend and reality. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of Just Discovered. Thank you for joining us on this journey to the ancient city of Troy.
And thank you, May, for sharing your knowledge and passion with us.
My pleasure, Chris. And remember, everyone, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep asking questions.
And don't forget to subscribe and like the video.
Until next time, goodbye.